Hi, I'm Dr. Odette Suter. Many of you know me because you have seen my videos and I lecture all around the country on topics like this, gut-related problems and leaky gut and microbiome in particular, the subject of today. You're going to be blown away by what I'll be sharing with you today. Literally, you're going to hear about the gut and its effects on your pet's entire health. But first, who is this for? Those of you who have pets who are suffering and you just don't know why, and you've done everything. Maybe you've changed your pet's diet, you've tried different probiotics and other gut healing protocols, and your pets still don't feel well. You've stayed up all night trying to find answers, but you just can't figure out how to get rid of their chronic vomiting, diarrhea, reflux, and maybe they're plagued by never-ending itchiness, recurrent ear infections, low energy. This is who it's for. And why I'm so excited about this is because I've been teaching this to pet parents all around the world for many years, and I'm going to uncover the faulty logic of current medicine that causes this epidemic of chronic gut issues and gut-related diseases that's causing so much suffering for dogs and cats and you, their human family. So this is who this is for. So I want to dive right in because I'm excited to share with you the solution to this. And there is a reason why your pets aren't improving in their health. So I want to dive right in and talk to you about how you can accelerate your pet's health through healing the gut and reestablishing whole body cellular vitality. So did you know that the most powerful thing you can do for your pet's healing is to fix their gut and establish a healthy microbiome? I know this sounds crazy, but the thing is that we've been conditioned to focus on one specific area of the body that is showing issues, and your pet may have zero digestive symptoms. So you may be thinking, this does not apply to my animals. But stay with me because I'm going to reveal 3 key principles of healing that most pet owners and even veterinarians overlook or don't know about. And this is the reason why your pet isn't healing, no matter how many diets, supplements, and other treatments you've tried. And you may have one of these supplement graveyards as a result. I'll then share my proven strategy with you that will revolutionize the way you approach your pet's healing and restore their gut and overall function. So again, I'm Dr. Odette Suter, and I consider myself a truly holistic veterinarian. For close to 30 years, I've been helping hundreds of pet parents around the world maximize their pet's health and extend their lifespan. But I had to learn the hard way. After graduating from vet school, I naively figured it would take me about 10 years to figure out how to be a good vet and have all that information that I need. But little did I know that this education would be intensely personal. It put me through the ringer in ways that I could not have imagined. I battled through 2 chronic debilitating diseases that most people never recover from. And my healing journey was long and very challenging. And during that time, my couch became my best friend. But this journey was a blessing because it made me question everything I thought I knew about health and healing. It led me to discover what it really takes to truly heal. I discovered a strategy that not only cured me, but also helped many of my pet patients recover from serious health issues to thrive and live their best life, like this poor patient of mine who for years was tortured by his allergies. As emerging research started to highlight the critical role of gut health and the microbiome, I jumped on it. Because after I did my first fecal transplant, I just witnessed a miracle with this German Shepherd. I knew that this was the missing piece and the future of medicine, because this dog went from liquid poops to perfectly formed stools in just a few days. His energy came back, his anxiety vanished. It just had a huge impact on his entire body. So what drug or supplement have you ever seen do that, right? So by focusing on the gut, my pet patients started experiencing a whole new level of healing, reinforcing the powerful strategy that I was already using at the time. So when I emphasized healing the gut and the microbiome, that's when things really took off. If you're newer to having a pet with significant health issues and have been thrown into the deep end and you are trying to fix their issues, you may be asking, why isn't my vet telling me this? Or if you're one of those pet parents who have stayed up all night just to find solutions, you may be thinking, I'm sure I already know this. Or maybe you've already tried everything and gone from vet to vet and nutritionist and other healthcare professionals, and nobody has been able to figure out your pet's issue, and you feel hopeless and ready to give up. So I invite you to unfold your arms and relax and take a breath, because what I'm about to share isn't about a magic pill or some other kind of snake oil. This is for real. And to show you that there is hope, I want to start with a couple of success stories right off the bat, because I know how difficult and heartbreaking this health journey is for many of you, and you may have lost hope. So this here is Lulu. She came to me with diarrhea and vomiting and had all sorts of stomach discomfort, had to go out at night and was whining and just didn't feel well. And within just a couple of months, we were able to turn this around for her, and she's now in perfect health. And of course, her owner, her dad, Michael, is so happy. And this here is Jill. She has 2 dogs and was living in constant fear of her dog's illnesses. One of them had fly snapping seizures, and she went back and forth to specialist vets with more and more medication. But after just 3 months of working with me, her dogs have made remarkable health improvements. Specifically, the dog who was having these seizures, he was rarely wagging his tail. He was very anxious, and he's now a happy, healthy, and calm boy with clear eyes, a wonderful demeanor, and wagging his tail constantly. And just a little more proof that you can get that for your animals as well. Here's Grit. Melissa brought him home as a little puppy. He was very intelligent and happy, but within the first year, he was slipping away. He did not feel well. His feet would bleed, and he had pimple-like sores on his torso. He was also obsessed with licking urine and eating dirt, lacked focus, and was very sensitive to any kind of touch. And I see that quite a bit these days. Within just a few weeks, we found the cause, got him on the proper protocol, and he became the dog that Melissa knew he could be. And he was finally feeling great and wanting to do things. Dr. Suter gave me my dog back, and Grit and I are forever grateful. And this here is Galen. Galen had bouts of diarrhea and vomiting. He wouldn't eat his food, and nothing helped, whatever she tried. And today, Galen's bowels are perfect. His appetite and energy and mood are great. He's Mr. Mellow, but when he springs into action, it's beautiful and impressive. With my expressions of deepest gratitude for saving my precious boy from a short life of misery. And that's a really important last few words. Short life of misery, because if we don't fix that underlying cause and we don't get to the root of things and really turn things around, that's what happens with these animals. And I don't want that for your pets. So this is what's available for your pets too, if you understand and implement what I'm about to share with you. But first, we need to do a little bit of brain unclogging, because there's so much conflicting information available everywhere today, from veterinarians, research, Facebook groups, summits, articles, friends and friends of friends, etc. One person tells you one thing and the other tells you the exact opposite. And that's extremely confusing. Almost every pet parent I start to work with tells me that they have already done everything, tried a lot of things, done a ton of research to heal their pets, yet they still feel completely lost and have no idea where to start with healing their pets. Everything they tried only gave them limited results, if any, or even made their pets worse. And if you're one of those, you may even be terrified to try something new because your pets haven't responded well to that, and you may be paralyzed in fear, or you may simply be lacking someone to show you the way. And that's what I want to do today. Today, I want to provide you with some much needed clarity and foundational information to uncomplicate things a bit. So I ask you to let go of everything that you know for just a little while, so that I can show you a new way of thinking when it comes to healing your pets, no matter what symptoms they have. So are you with me? So this is the old way of thinking. An animal has a symptom and you were given a pill for that ill, which you're told should result in health, right? A slightly more modern way and potentially less damaging way is to give your pet an herb or a supplement for that ill, which is also supposed to restore health. But it doesn't work that way. Just because you're using natural things doesn't mean it's going to heal your pets. And that's the problem with medicine and holistic medicine as well. Because with holistic medicine, instead of using a drug, we use a supplement and an herb as a band-aid. I call that holistic medicine because this type of reasoning has bled from the conventional medicine into holistic medicine. So for example, if you have a dog with diarrhea, what's your first thought? Is it, what probiotic can I give my pet? Or what yeast protocol should I do? Unfortunately, after months of trying that, the animal is still not better because of this faulty logic and because the underlying cause was never explored. So then what's the secret to healing and transforming your pet's life so they can experience vibrant health, boundless energy, and joy? It's that we have to address leaky gut and dysbiosis, which is an imbalance of the microbial flora within the gut. Because this is at the root of almost every health issue your pet has, whether or not they show any kinds of gut-related symptoms. And I'll show you now how this is happening so that you can really truly understand. And here are just some of the organ systems that are affected by an unhealthy gut and dysbiosis. The brain, the mouth, the teeth, hormone glands, the heart, pancreas, skin, anal glands, the bladder, the liver, the kidneys. Everything is connected to the gut. So what diseases and symptoms do your animals have? Which of their organs are affected? Or are they simply prematurely aging? So today I'm going to show you how this is all connected. And that's very important to understand. And by the end of this webinar, you'll have an understanding of what is happening in your pet's body for disease and symptoms to manifest. And from there, it will become really clear to you what it truly takes to change your pet's health and where to start. So I mentioned 3 key principles earlier. They have the power to reignite your pet's innate healing and transform their health in ways you couldn't imagine. So let's dive right in. Principle number 1 is that you have to understand leaky gut and dysbiosis in order to heal your pets, because it will give you that true understanding how disease is created. And you cannot treat your pets successfully if you don't understand that. Without addressing leaky gut and dysbiosis, their health will continue to go down the toilet. And if you don't pull them out, you don't know how, no drug or natural supplement in the world will create the change that you're looking for. But if you restore your pet's gut health and their microbiome, their entire body and every cell of the body can start to heal and function as intended. So let me explain leaky gut to you. I know that a lot of people have heard about leaky gut, but let me explain what happens to the body when there's leaky gut present. So this here is a schematic of the gut lining, which is only 1 layer thick and covers the inside of the digestive system that comes in contact with food and anything that your pet swallows. On the left side here, you can see a healthy gut lining where the cells are closely connected. And next to that, you see that there's inflammation where the cells are starting to separate from one another. And that allows whatever is on the inside of the gut to migrate to the other side and into the bloodstream. So we call that leaky gut or increased intestinal permeability. So on the left side, that's where food is actually being processed correctly. It's being broken down in the gut. It goes through the cells and then into the bloodstream. But with leaky gut, you have food that is going directly to the other side without being broken down. So what then causes that separation here of the cells? Well, we have stress that can contribute to that, toxins, food particles, not the right food, drugs can cause issues, pathogens, and then also organ malfunction. So these things can either directly affect the gut lining and or create damage through the microbiome that then results in inflammation, which then leads to leaky gut. This kind of leakage leads to all sorts of issues that are worth elaborating on because it will explain how leaky gut is so damaging to your pet's body. With leaky gut, we have nutrient malabsorption. So we have particles that go through that are not properly digested, so they're too big. And the body cannot use those because they're not in the form that can be used to build muscles, for example, or nourish organs and cells. And because these particles can't be used properly, somebody has to clean them up, right? They're like garbage that's floating around. And in order to clear out that garbage, the immune system comes running because they're like the garbage truck that cleans things up. And anytime the immune system is present and activated, we have inflammation, right? And that inflammation doesn't just stay in the gut because these particles are floating around the bloodstream, right? And they're going everywhere. And so as a result, we end up with systemic inflammation, which causes all of these issues, spreads to all of these organs that I just showed you. We can also get autoimmunity that's being triggered by this gut inflammation because these particles, for example, gluten looks very similar to what the thyroid is made of. And the gluten protein is part of grains, right? Wheat, barley, etc. And so this gluten looks very similar. And so when the immune system is attacking the gluten and trying to clear it at the gut level, these immune cells then continue to float around. And then they come to the thyroid and they say, well, wait a minute, this looks exactly like the gluten that I just attacked in the gut. So let me attack that as well. That's how we end up with autoimmunity. But it doesn't stop there. We can also get food intolerance because when chicken, for example, comes down and the immune system is starting to attack the chicken, then the next time your animal eats chicken, it will mount another inflammatory response to get rid of that chicken. And that can either manifest in diarrhea or vomiting, but it can also show up in skin issues, like hot spots or a flare-up of ear infections and so on. So it just layers up that inflammation. And then last but not least, we can also get a breach of the blood-brain barrier as a result. The blood-brain barrier is very similar to that gut lining. It's just one layer of cells. And if we have inflammation happening in the gut, we also end up with inflammation in the brain because particles will also go through into the brain through that blood-brain barrier that has been breached, and that then causes inflammation in the brain. And brain inflammation is never a good thing because it can cause mood changes, behavior changes, and then down the road also degenerative conditions such as cognitive dysfunction and other types of neurologic issues. The microbiome plays an equally or even more important role, which we should have guessed by the sheer numbers present in and around our bodies. They outnumber our animal cells by a factor of 10. And genetically, they outnumber the body by a factor of 150. So who is running the show here? Really, who is in charge? Well, it's all of these microbes because they directly interact with the gut lining. So they help to support that gut lining and the integrity of it. They also interact with the nervous system directly and with the immune system because there's a ton of immune cells lining the gut. 70 to 80% of the entire immune system is in the gut, and microbes, they communicate with that immune system all the time. They're also a huge chemical factory that produces chemicals and compounds that the body needs for intestinal maturation. So very important to have your puppies and kittens have a good microbiome early on. They also help to inhibit pathogen overgrowth. They assist with digestion of food. They help to regulate hormones. They excrete toxins, and they produce vitamins and other healing compounds that the body absolutely needs. They also make neurotransmitters and regulate behavior. So your animal really kind of needs them, right? To give you an analogy, picture the opening ceremonies of the Olympics with the amazing performances and all the athletes that are representing their nations. Have you ever watched one of those? They're really amazing. They have thousands of people who do exactly what they need to do at the exact right time. So each person has a special function that they need to perform. Now picture that you only have spectators, nobody else. But not only that, some of these spectators are very aggressive and rude, which basically means chaos ensues, right? And nothing good comes of it, only destruction. Now picture that happening in your pet's gut. It's the same thing with the microbiome. Makes you feel sick just thinking about it, right? But this is what dysbiosis does. And combined with leaky gut, the entire body suffers. So to summarize, gut issues create inflammation everywhere. And it may look like diarrhea, but it may also look like arthritis, or it may manifest in bad skin issues. And that brings me to the second principle, which is that we need to heal the gut, which makes sense, right? We need to restore the gut lining and the microbial community because leaky gut and dysbiosis are the big first domino. When you knock it down, all the other dominoes have no choice but to fall down as well. And as you just learned, inflammation doesn't stay in the gut. It travels everywhere. And if you don't stop the presence and the progression of your pet's gut issues and start healing it, the resulting inflammation will end up compromising and gradually destroying all the body's cells. And there comes a point where there is not much that you can do to reverse that damage. Other diseases will manifest because their body is breaking down more and more. So in other words, not only will your pet continue to suffer, but the suffering will increase. You'll also end up spending more money and have more heartache trying to manage symptoms than if you were to act now and take care of the root cause. And that's exactly what happened with my childhood dog, Windy. She started out with seasonal allergies that turned into year-round itching. Later on, she developed mammary cancer and heart disease, and finally, she showed signs of brain deterioration and dementia. Her body became progressively more inflamed, and that inflammation destroyed her body to the point of no return. Mind you that Windy never or very rarely had any kind of digestive upset. So gut health was definitely not on my radar back then. But now that I know better, her symptoms just screamed of gut inflammation. So to emphasize what we talked about so far is that inflammation in the gut leads to cell damage and dysfunction. So we need to ask some really important questions. What makes a healthy cell? A healthy cell works optimally and in harmony with all of the other cells around it. So then what is an unhealthy cell? That would be the next logic question, right? It's a cell that's not working optimally and in harmony. So then, can't we say that there's only one disease, which is the malfunctioning of cells? Now, if there are enough cells that aren't functioning properly, you will start to see disease. And this is really crucial to understand, because if you get this, you've already won half the battle. And I'll let you in on a secret. This wasn't taught in vet school in this way. And doctors are trying to confuse you with fancy disease names. But what it really boils down to is that disease is a malfunctioning of cells. So if the cells of the pancreas are malfunctioning, they may call that diabetes. And if the liver cells aren't functioning, it's called liver disease. And if the kidney cells aren't functioning properly, it's called chronic kidney failure, right? So every symptom that you see is a sign that cells are malfunctioning, and each to a different degree. And then we need to ask what then causes that malfunction and how does the gut and the microbiome play into this? And kids are really great at asking why, but as adults, we tend to forget, and that is really important to ask if you want to be able to turn your animal's health around. So let's ask why together. So what has to happen for cells to malfunction? There are two main causes. One is deficiency, and the other one is excess. So if we go back to the gut, if processing of food and absorption of nutrient is poor, the cells don't get what they need to function properly. The microbes in the gut also play a crucial role in that because they contribute to the breakdown of food, and they also manufacture essential compounds that the body needs. So this is the deficiency aspect as it relates back to the gut. Excess comes from leaky gut that allows all sorts of toxins to enter the body uncontrolled, and that then interferes with cellular function as well. Inflammation itself is also toxic to cells, especially if it goes on chronically, because inflammation is good when there's a cut, for example, because it cleans out damaged tissue, so it destroys the damaged tissue so that it can heal. But if this goes on chronically, it continues to destroy tissue. And that is, of course, not anything that we would want to see in our animals, because that damages cells. So wouldn't you say that this is very logical information so far that we use in other areas of life? Take this plant, for example. What's your first thought when you see this plant? What might it be missing? Is it maybe water or a little bit of sunshine? But is it also possible that something is interfering? And what would that be? Well, maybe bugs, or somebody is pouring gasoline over that plant. So you see, this is very logical thinking that we need to apply to the cells so that the body can heal. Because when we have enough deficiency and too much toxicity with all these chemicals that are being sprayed around, the cells can't compensate and the bucket overflows, causing that inflammation that then shows itself as all of these different symptoms. So we need to make sure we empty out that bucket so that we don't have that inflammation. Nowadays, this is the situation. There are more than 1.5 million new chemicals that have come on the market since World War II, and many of those are carcinogenic, and they also interfere with hormones. And the problem is that these toxins are passed down from one generation to another. So if the mom of your pet already had these toxins, then your pet will have these toxins. And if your pet were to recreate and reproduce, that would be passed on again as well. Everyone is getting sicker and sicker earlier in life because of this huge toxic accumulation. And this here is just a graph to show you the amount of toxins that were used in 1940 compared to current times. So we went from less than 1 million kilograms of chemicals being sprayed and used to over 200 plus billion chemicals. There's no way that the body can deal with it. And that makes it very difficult and makes healing an uphill battle. But you have to remember that your pet's body is an amazing healing machine. It wants and it knows how to heal. But you have to give it what it needs, and you have to remove what interferes to get the cells working again. And the thing is that if you're healing the gut and the microbiome and the cells, you're also healing allergies, behavior issues, and all kinds of other symptoms all at the same time. So healing the cells, healing the gut will really heal the entire body. So is there a drug or a supplement that can do that? No, right? It can't. So now that we've answered what's going on, which is the cells are malfunctioning, and we know why, which is because of leaky gut and dysbiosis resulting in deficiency and excess, we can finally ask, well, how do we now fix the body? So now that we understand what's going on, we finally have enough information to create a plan of action that actually makes sense. Equipped with a bit more logic, we can now talk about the third key principle, which is you have to use a systematic approach to heal the body. You have to have a well thought out plan to heal the gut and then create cellular health if you want to have true healing and also accelerated healing. It's like building a house. Without a plan, you'll end up with a wonky house like that. So you have to have a plan, and that's crucial because you can give your pet all the supplements you can find, try all kinds of diets, and continue to go from one vet to another. But if you don't have a system, all that you're doing is putting Band-Aids on these symptoms while the body continues to break down. If you don't have a plan, you're only prolonging your pet's and your suffering and wasting precious time and money. So we have to use a system and address the body as a whole. And this is my 7 pillars of health strategy that I use with my patients and also teach in my program. Each one of these pillars is essential to restore health. As Aristotle says, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So we start by providing a species-appropriate balanced diet that's composed of fresh, minimally processed ingredients that contain all the nutrients that the cells need. With that, you start to fill the holes of deficiency, which will allow the cells to have more energy and function better. At the same time, you also diminish the intake of potentially toxic compounds that come with food and that damage your pet's cells. Because the gut is the limiting factor when it comes to utilizing the food you provide, we want to address it from the get-go using the 5R protocol or approach. So we want to start with removing the stressors, such as the offending foods and toxins and chronic infections. And then we want to replace, and that's adding back essential nutrients and digestive aids that are needed for optimal breakdown and assimilation of nutrients. Next, we want to re-inoculate the gut and restore the microbiome. My preferred version of that is doing fecal transplants, but prebiotics and probiotics can help with that as well. We also need to repair the gut lining itself and provide a little extra nutrition for that gut lining so that it can start to restore its integrity. And then we need to rebalance and manage stress and foster a Zen-like lifestyle through stress management, enough sleep, exercise, all of these things that are crucial for a happy and healthy gut. And that's where my other pillars come in. Though nutrition and GI health are the foundation, there are 5 other pillars that are essential to get the cells functioning properly. Detoxification is one of them. It consists of limiting the exposure of toxins, but also pulling the toxins out of the cell with specific binders. Then we also need to make sure that communication with the system is optimized via the nervous system, but also hormones. So the nerves provide electrical impulses that tell the cells what to do, while the hormones do that at the chemical levels. Hormones will bind to the receptors on the cell membranes and tell the cells what to do. So we have to have healthy cell membranes with the receptors present, right? So optimizing these 2 systems can really make or break everything that you're doing. And then if you combine that with exercise, that increases oxygen and stimulates the production of more mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of the cells. And then you have cells that can actually do what they're supposed to because they have more energy to perform their job. So that's like waking up the workers and nourishing them so that they can do their job. And lastly, we also need to address mental and emotional health, and that's particularly important nowadays, where the world and our own stress level seems to be at all-time high because we're in an accelerated phase of change and evolution. And studies have shown that stress is more damaging to the body than even smoking a pack of cigarettes daily. So we really need to work on decreasing our stress level, which I know is not so simple when we have an animal who's not feeling well, but it is important. For example, I just saw a couple of dogs the other day who had a big change in their household where the stress level was significantly decreased. And I had been doing some maintenance veterinary services for them for about 5 years. And it was just really amazing to see how they were completely different with the stress level in the household just decreasing. So it's really important. So you see, you have to address all 7 pillars. And when we use this well-rounded system, we have a game changer on our hands because sick cells are revived or eliminated if they're too damaged. Organs can regenerate and the whole body heals. And the reason what you tried didn't work is because you tried maybe only 3 of these pillars max. And if you didn't do them in the right order and you left out 4 pillars, that's why your pet is still sick. Healing is really no different than baking a cake. If I say, here's how you bake a cake, and you leave out 4 ingredients, is that cake going to turn out well? No, right? If it's not assembled in the right order and not including all ingredients, it's not going to work. So if you can't even bake a cake like that, how in the world could you heal the body? You simply can't. I see a lot of people trying to fix their pet's health with diet alone. Though nutrition is, of course, crucial to healing, you cannot out-diet your pet out of poor health. Only looking at nutrition is like trying to build a house made of just one wall. Well, that just simply isn't a house, right? So you have to consider that there are other important aspects to healing the gut and the entire body. And the key to success is that you have to cut through the noise, which we just did, and figure out exactly what's going on with your pet's body before you can ask, how can I heal them? Then once you know that, you can finally come up with a plan to maximize their health. And often when we try to fix our pets, it's easy to lose sight of these core principles that truly make a difference. Imagine you need to furnish and decorate a house, but you have no idea what it looks like. Maybe it's a mansion or maybe it's a tiny house. It's impossible, right, to get the right furniture. So you have to have a strong foundation of understanding what's happening in your pet's body to effectively sift through all that noise and focus on what genuinely works to heal your pets. So just because you already tried a lot of things, don't think this isn't for you. Or because you've already tried everything and because it didn't work, that there is no hope. This is for you. You're really close and you're here for a reason. So take the next step with me. I'll help you figure out what your pet needs to heal the gut and regenerate its cells. You will start to see a reduction in their symptoms and ultimately they can reach their maximal health potential. There is still time, but you can't wait. You have to take action now to give your pet the life you want for them because they don't have years for you to wade through the jungle of information on your own. Because learning how to heal and learning about health is like learning to fly a plane. Would you do this on your own by watching videos or listening to someone on Facebook? I certainly hope not. The same is true for healing. As a doctor, it is my duty to teach because doctor means teacher in Latin. Healing is a lot easier and faster with a mentor who can guide you, and I wish I had had one back then. I've been there, and I had to learn to fly, and I had success with my own body and helped countless animals overcome a variety of health conditions with my comprehensive healing protocol. So this isn't just a generic approach. It's precision medicine, tailored uniquely to your pet, because what your pet needs is different than what any other pet needs. And that's why I call this precision medicine. It gives you a specific plan for your specific animal. And with that plan of action, your pet can move toward optimal health. So we'll create a tailored plan because that's where transformation happens. And I'm here to guide you every step of the way. This is much better than quick fixes because with this approach, you're restoring and renewing every cell of the body from the foundation up. So imagine your cat and dog vibrant and full of energy. How would that make you feel? If your animal could feel so great that you could do all of these things with them. So now you may be thinking, well, this sounds really great, but I'm overwhelmed. I really don't know where to start. Or I've tried everything. I know it's been very difficult for you and your pets, and I really would like to help you. And this is why I'm extending a special invitation to you. If you'd like my help, the first place that we need to start is with a face-to-face so that I can determine whether or not I can help you and you're a good fit for what I do. And to do that, I've created a special consultation process for you. In this consultation, we'll uncover the why behind your pet's health struggles, and then we'll peel back the layers to see what's been missed. And ultimately, we'll come up with a plan of action to help restore function to their body. So are you ready to take this next step forward and accelerate your pet's healing? This is what we'll do together. You'll start by filling out a detailed health assessment questionnaire, including symptoms, tests conducted, treatments tried, and outcome. And with this, you're not just filling out a form, you're giving me the keys to unlock the mysteries of your pet's health. Then we'll get on Zoom for a private one-on-one call where we'll dive deep into the heart of your pet's health issues. By understanding every detail of their history and your current challenges, we can then uncover crucial insights and clues that others may have missed. On this call, you will get a truly holistic vet, me, to evaluate your pet and your situation and listen exactly to what's been going on with them. And then from there, we'll create a plan to accelerate your pet's healing. So normally, the value for this consultation process is $495, but today you can get started for only $27. So take this opportunity today and schedule a call with me by clicking the link below. This is not just another consultation. This is a chance for you to transform your pets and your life and your future together. At the end of the call, you'll have an outline of the path to health so that your pet can feel good again. Your goals for your pets and yourself are the heartbeat of the plan, whether that's stopping chronic GI symptoms, putting an end to allergies, or any other chronic condition, or if you simply want to enhance your pet's quality of life so that you can go for hikes with your dog, play with your cat, or just relax for a cuddle. because there's no need for you to go in circles trying to figure this out on your own and spend every 3 minutes researching how to fix your pets and spend a gazillion dollars. That's not a good quality of life for you. I've already climbed that mountain, so let me help you, because I figured out the fastest way to maximizing your pet's health. So let me show you the roadmap. I'm here to walk this journey with you so that you can achieve greater health for your pets and experience more joy and peace. Take Rex, for example. He was suffering from food sensitivities and seasonal allergies. And Michelle says that getting on that call with me and joining the Pet Health Accelerator program was the best decision she's made for Rex and her entire pack. She said that digestive issues have been resolved, seasonal allergies went away, and overall her dogs are a lot healthier. It's been such a wonderful experience to find like-minded people to share ideas and information with, and to have a safe space to ask questions and have discussions. She says, I love the Q&A sessions and always learn something new from the other community members' questions. Most of all, the guidance and support from Dr. Suter have been invaluable, and I'm incredibly grateful to have found her and this program. This program has been a life-changing experience for me. So you can have that for your animals as well. And I know this can help your pets. It will help you break free from the endless cycle of vet visits and nothing changing, and have a healthier and happier life together, and you feeling really, truly supported. So now that you've heard about Michelle's story with her dogs, are you ready to take this first step with me towards a healthier future for your pets? So this is again what we'll do to get started in this journey together. So click the link below to schedule your call with me today. Understand that this isn't just about healing now. We're also preventing future illness. And this is for you too, because when you're dealing with a sick pet, it affects every area of your life, including your own health. You may be thinking that my pet's problems aren't that bad. It's just a little bit of soft stool or a little bit of allergies, but there is no such thing, because with every symptom, you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. And so we need to dive deeper to figure things out. Because we live in a world where we have to work much harder for our animals' health than ever before, I know most of your animals need this. And I know this is going to improve their lives and your life by extension. So click the link below to schedule your call today, and let's take that next step together. Because this here won't really get you the results that you're looking for. You have to take action if you want to change your pet's health. So by scheduling this call today, you have nothing to lose. If you didn't like it, you can get your money back. But the only way for you to know if this is right for you and your furry companion is to get started now and get on a call with me. So click the link below to schedule the call today and take that next step.